Hey, beautiful people. I'm not sure if I'm live yet because I'm doing my live today from my computer. I'll have to watch back to see if I went live straight away. So anyone watching, say hi while you're here so I can see who's on. And if you're watching on a replay, hashtag replay so I know you were here or was here, as we used to say back in the day. Today is day 5 of the challenge, go live in 5. And so hopefully you've been gathering tips and finding your nook, creating your look, getting your content ready to go. And what else did we cover? Planning out your live. And then today, we hope that you're going live on your page. That's your stage, right? That's where you get to be seen, get to tell people what you stand for, and help them get to know you better. Let me just have a look here to see. I can't see if see now. I've never gone live on my computer before. This is a first for me, and I figured that it would be okay to do. I can see people there now and see some comments coming in. So I thought it would be a really good thing to do to at least try it once. And what I am so excited about, I don't know how clear it is for you guys, but what I realized on my computer was it's the right way around. So hang on, you can read that, right? Queen's Code, it says that it's flipped so that if I did have something to show you, if I was going to do a book, then I would do it from my computer because it's the right way around. And I've also been researching whether you can do that from your phone. It's not looking like you can. Maybe some phones have that function, and Facebook used to provide the function where you could actually go in and do it just before you went live. You could flip it, but it doesn't have that anymore. Anyway, I'll be researching that to see. And if I find out how to do it on a phone, I will be letting you know. So today we're going to cover all the final tips so that you feel really confident to get out there and do. If it's your first live, do your first live. If you're a live streamer from way back, it's just going to take you to the next level. That's what I'm hoping. So hello, gorgeous people watching. So the first thing I want to talk about is courage, like having the courage to go live. And even for those of us who have been doing lives for a while, even we can get a bit nervous and think, oh, I've got to do a live, I've got to do a live and put it off. So as I mentioned yesterday, put it in your diary. Diarize your lives and schedule them as a weekly occurrence, a daily occurrence, depending on how much you want to show up and be seen. Those of you who were at My Vibe this morning, which is a beautiful networking group, we had a guest speaker, Carly Marie, come along, and she talked about how anyone who's a leader, which anyone watching me is bound to be a leader of some sort, going live on social media is part of the way that you get your message out, and it's a free forum, so we'd be crazy not to use it. So getting better at lives is just such a crucial thing, which is of course why I'm launching my little course, and it starts this afternoon. Some of you are already in there. We're already having lots of fun. We get to practice and play around with lives. You get feedback from me and the group, and we're really going to go to the next level of detail around how to do this even better. As you're watching me, I'm still learning. I could get better, but it's all a process. And so there are different levels that we get to. And the more we do and the more we help each other, which is what my course is designed to do, the better we're going to get quicker. I don't know. Is that right? Better we get quicker? Anyway, you know what I mean. Now I've got my notes here, so that's why I keep looking over here. Because if I don't have my notes, I go completely off track. So that's another thing I generally recommend. If you're doing lives, have a plan. We talked about it yesterday, and have the points that you want to cover, have the things that you start out saying, and the way you wrap it up. So in terms of getting the courage to go live, we all do sometimes put it off, but just schedule it in. But also think about what's the worst thing that could happen. Okay, I've done some really shit lives, I've got to be honest with you. And when that has happened and I've felt really bad about it, like it just didn't go to plan, When you get to the end of the live, if you absolutely hate it and you know that it just isn't worth putting up, you don't have to publish it. And then the only people that get to see it were the ones that were watching live. And probably if it was really shit, there wouldn't be many of those watching, because they would have stayed on and realized after a minute or two that you're just not in your groove, and they would have probably just gone and left, because that's what you can do. You know, you can come on and come and go. So you don't have to hit publish. So if you're going live on your page, don't freak out. There might only be 1, 2, 3, 4 people that ever even see it. So if it stuffs up, it's not the end of the world. You haven't ruined your brand. And probably the 1, 2, 3, 4 or people that did see it are people that love you anyway and are just wanting to be there to support you. So there's not that you can't lose, if you know what I mean. But if you're really, really nervous, joining my course is perfect, because I'm going to leave it open. We go for a week and a half, and even after that, you'll be able to go into that group and do your lives, and we'll all, come and laugh at you or laugh with you. I did one today that was really hilarious. I really enjoying it, actually. I'm just going to close that. There's a little pop up there. Okay, I'll try and look at the comments. Okay, I've had a question here about when does the course start. It starts this afternoon. The link is at the top of my Facebook page. All the lessons are recorded, so if you can't make them, it doesn't matter, because they're all recorded and they'll be there forever. So if you can't attend all of them live, doesn't matter. And they're pretty much, they're spaced out over the next 8 days. So 4 o'clock this afternoon we kick off. And even if you can't make the 4 o'clock kickoff, doesn't matter, because it's all recorded. So the kickoff will be in Zoom, and if you join the group, you'll get the Zoom link, and we'll be starting this afternoon. There's already about, 12, 13 people in there already, and it's just beautiful. We're having lots of fun. So let me see, where am I up to? Okay, you don't have to hit publish. The next thing is, remember to have your title. So when I went live today, you probably saw it pop up, April's going live, and the title of my live came up. So do have that ready, especially if you're going at a set time. I usually have it written in a note first so that I can copy it across really quickly, and that I don't have to think of it on the spot. But if you do have to think of it on the spot, just put a title in. It's way better to have a title than no title at all. And you can always edit it. Like if your talk ends up going off track, which many of mine do, then you can edit the title later, but it's always good to have one in. Next thing, where to look. Okay, so I won't name names, but one of my clients, she gets this thing happening where she's looking everywhere but into the camera. And so, our phones and the camera here on this computer, they're in different places, and they're not actually that easy to see quite often, especially if you've got a bright light in your face. So it's always good to know where the camera is on your phone, and to have a little practice. Just do some videos of yourself and watch how it feels. And this is the beauty of this course. We can all be seeing ourselves back and really critiquing ourselves and each other. See how it feels when the person isn't looking at you. So I know a lot of live stream people, they'll often, look over here, and then they might look there and they talk to that spot over there. Can you feel that, I'm talking, it doesn't look like I'm talking to you from your end? Or they look at themselves, like if I'm looking at myself now. Now, for you guys, I'm not sure where it looks like I'm looking, but probably doesn't look like I'm looking at you, right? Which is a little bit weird. So I know it's strange to look away from yourself because you're down here, and for me on the computer, I've got to look up into this little dot. But that means that you guys feel like I'm actually looking at you. So you just practice doing that and getting better at that. All right, I'm going to keep going, and then I'll come back and have a look at the comments. But please do leave comments and questions as we go, because it's always more interesting when there's comments and questions. That it'll enrich it for all of us. The next thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to crack myself up here. The next thing I want to talk about is reflection on glasses. And the reason I'm cracking myself up is because I stood on my glasses, so they're broken. Anyway, so I thought, oh, this demonstration won't go very well with my broken glasses. But anyway, I just want to give you oh, they're all filthy too now. Hang on. You can see reflection. Well, if I've got my glasses on now, I know some of you wear glasses and that's fair enough, but just play around with the settings of your lighting and whatnot so that you don't get too much reflection. If you need your glasses so that you can read the comments, then fair enough. But you could potentially do your live like this, and then when it comes to doing the comments, because usually I do the comments in one go, then you could just, read the comments. Now, the other thing, I did mention this yesterday, but I will mention it again. When you're doing things like, looking at your notes or looking at the comments, tell the people what you're doing because it just makes them, not think, oh, what's she doing with her fingers going everywhere and she's looking all over the place. Just say, oh, look, I'm checking my notes and I'm going to check the comments now and tell people what to do. So say to them, comment, I love it when you comment or, hashtag replay. Remind them of those things that you want them to do because they won't know. And once you remind them enough, they get used to it. So everyone now knows that I always say hashtag replay. And even if I didn't remember to say it, you're all in the habit of doing that anyway. All right, so you're sort of training your people to do what you want. Now, I'm going to touch my screen over here to see if I can scroll through these comments. As I mentioned to you, I have never used my computer to do this before, so it's quite it's a little bit of learning on the fly here. I've got to say, I wouldn't recommend learning on the fly when you're doing this because really I should have had a practice, right? I should have, shouldn't I? And I can't. So actually oh no, I can do it. I can scroll. Oh, really? I didn't think I could scroll through the comments. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at the comments. Hello, hello. Looks like you have a crown on. I know that photo does, doesn't it? When does your course start? I already answered that. It's this afternoon at 4 o'clock. It's horrible. Eye contact is so important. Yes, Tracy, it is, isn't it? That was such a handy tip for the live presentation today, telling audience what you're doing. Thank you. All right, excellent. I'm glad you found that useful. The next one, I've got a couple more to go. And then I'm hoping that you're going to go live on your page today, if you haven't already, or at least have one scheduled and be prepared to do it. We've talked about reflection. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is, this is a personal preference thing, so you don't have to take what I say as gospel. This is just my opinion. But what I've noticed, and when I first started doing lives, as people came in, I would start saying, hello, Tracy, hello, Liz, hello, and then I'd be, a couple of minutes in and someone would appear and I'd say, oh, hi, Janie. And it would actually distract me and get me off track. And then when I've noticed other people doing it, it kind of gets annoying. So I would suggest to you not naming the people and saying hello to all your friends and stopping your train of thought to say hello. I think just a general hello at the start, hello, hello, welcome, welcome, that sort of thing. And maybe as people are coming in saying hi, hi, maybe a little hello. But then you've got to at some point say, okay, there's no more hellos. People are just going to come and go as they please. And if you were in a giving a presentation in a room, and people were allowed to come and go as they pleased, you wouldn't say hello and goodbye to every person as they came and left. The other thing is, if you're commenting, you don't have to tell someone when you're leaving a live because actually then they'll read that comment out and it sounds a bit dicky. So if you've got to go, just go. I think that's the etiquette that is reasonable, that we don't expect people to hang around for our lives because we're all busy and they're often at an inconvenient time because they're not like a scheduled event. So people are just going to come and go. So that's just another thing as the person talking, just to be mindful of the fact that if you see the little, you've got the little eyeball there saying how many people are watching, and it goes up and down throughout your talk. And a lot of times, and when I first started, I would see it go down and think, oh God, what did I just say? Oh, I've upset that person. But it's not that, right? Because as watchers, you guys fully know that you're busy. Your child might have, fallen over and need your help, or you might not have been planning to watch the live. You thought, oh, I'll just have a look. Yeah, it's of interest, I'll come back to it later, or yeah, it's not really of interest to me, I'm not going to watch it. You might start watching and then go, yeah, no, I know all this already. I don't need it. And it's not offensive, and we're not to take it personally. So really try not to, yeah, when you're doing it, just don't take offense if you can. Just try and say to yourself, this is going to be useful. If it's useful for one person, great. If it's useful for no one, who cares? It's my page, and I'm here to provide and talk about what I think is important. And I'm practicing, partly. So, we're all practicing. Really, our whole lives is one big practice session, right? So you get to do that. It's okay, and it's okay if no one really found it that useful or interesting. Doesn't matter. It's no reflection on you. Don't take it personally. Okay, that's my little thing there. I'm going to just see if there's any comments to that, because that's quite an interesting one, and I know that people have various views on that. Agreed. I always feel that the presenter is not focused on delivering their message to me when they keep saying hello to people. Yeah, I agree, Tracy. 100%. Next thing is dealing with distractions. So you guys saw my funny little blooper. Some of you will have. If you've been doing this 5 days with me, 2 days ago, my husband decided to do some painting on the other side of that wall, and it was making a knocking sound like this. And I just thought, what the fuck is that? I didn't know what it was. And so it totally threw me. If I knew what it was, I probably could have ignored it and continued, but I didn't know what it was. So I kept it, and it just kept going. So I had to stop and go and sort it out, because, I just couldn't have continued, and I knew that I couldn't. So, and also because I've got people like you guys that follow me, and you're kind of used to me by now. I knew it wasn't a big deal for me to get up and go and tell him to shut up, basically, nicely, kind of. And it was kind of funny. And so it's okay with distractions. I think because we're doing this from our homes, children, cats, husbands, it's going to happen from time to time, and dogs barking. It just happens. So you've just got to be prepared to deal with it, and deal with it, make light of it. Don't get uptight about it, or pretend it's not happening, like the BBC guy. I'm sure most of you have seen that, from a few years back. His little toddler rolled into the room, and then, the carer was trying to get her out, and he was just like pushing the toddler out of sight really uncomfortably. And, he could have just acknowledged, oh, there's my toddler. But he was trying to pretend like he wasn't doing it from home. That was the funny thing. Anyway, so distractions, deal with them as graciously and gracefully as you can. But no, we're human, and people are forgiving, and don't worry about it too much. Don't make a big deal. One thing I will say on that, though, is if your child comes in and they want to have a conversation with you, or lick your face or something weird like that, as children do weird things, or whisper in your ear, and if it's really taking up time, then, by you continuing that conversation, you're ignoring the people who are there. So you've got to try and find a way to nip it in the bud, get another adult, just say, hang on 1 second, I'll just go get the other adult. Can you deal with this? So a little bit of interaction with the child is okay, I think. And one of my role models for that, as many of you know, is Carly Marie. She sometimes has them crawling all over her, but she is able to not allow it to distract her. And because her content is very, it seems to, it's coming through from the universe, and it comes out very powerfully. It doesn't actually seem to matter that her children are there. However, for most people, I think she's definitely the exception. So let's just, learn from her, but also go, if you can't maintain the intensity of your message with the distraction going on, then you really got to think about trying to remove the distraction, if you know what I'm saying. Hopefully that all makes sense. Next one is backwards text. I already demonstrated that here. that because I'm doing this on my computer, it's not mirrored for some reason. I don't even know if I have not intentionally done it. It just happened. So you might just want to have a play around with the settings for that on your phone and on your computer and see if you can get it to the point where if you do have something to show or you've got something on the back wall with some writing on it, that you might want it the right way around. Don't have to, but certainly if you're showing a book, like I kept doing this the one time, look at this book, look at this book, look at this book, and it was back to front. It just looked a bit. I would like to have done that one differently. Okay. Finally, that's it. They were all my tips. Finally, I just want to say if you really want to get better at this and you want support to do that, then just join my course. I've said it so many times, but I'm going to say it one more time because I know some of you need it, and I will share all my tips. It'll be lighthearted. It'll be like this. You guys know what I'm like, and there'll be other beautiful people in the group, and we'll all help each other, and we'll all get better. In a week and a half, I know that there's going to be a difference to the way all of us do our lives. We're going to have better backgrounds, better lighting, will be more planned, and we'll grow in our confidence. And once we practice and practice, you can do as many lives in the closed Facebook group as you want. You could do 100 if you want to. Just keep practicing, because what I'm finding is, the more you do, the better you get, and you know what to expect. You know what's going to happen when you click the go live button. You know how long you've got, all of those things. But if you don't want to join the course and you just want to do it by yourself, you could create your own group and just do it in your own group and watch it back for yourself, and critique yourself. So that's an option too, but you'll be missing out if you do that. All right, let me have a look, just see if there's any other comments that I need to refer to. Cool, I'll come into your training as I'll be back from school pickup. Awesome, Liz. So you're going to join. Knock, knock, who's there? Says Tracy, the BBC guy. Yes, that was hilarious. That was his wife. Oh, was it? Well, carer. She was the carer at the time. Love this live, says Liz. Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully you got lots of value out of today. #replay if you're watching on replay. And I shall see a lot of you in the course. And the rest of you, I'll see you here on the front line again very, very soon. Lots of love. Bye for now. Let's see if I can end this video. Yeah, I think I can. Oh, hey, Davina. We're just about to finish, so you'll have to watch on replay. Lots of love.